Now on 767 News, police charge juvenile with Juve morning murder. Leader of opposition disputes the exclusion of pertinent questions on the first Parliament's order paper. And Dominica to implement major cocoa industry with assistance from Caribbean and international partners. In sports, the FA organizes numerous matches following Carnival break. Welcome everyone, I'm Alicia George and you're watching 767 News. Stay tuned for the latest stories and developments happening now, right after this break.
Hi, I'm Daryl Bob. I write and perform songs for my living, and I depend on Echo and organizations like Echo to collect royalties on my behalf whenever my music is played in public. Public meaning on radio, television, at concerts, shows, restaurants, and even here on Digicel Play. Because Echo has relations with over 200 societies around the world, I am guaranteed that whenever my music is played, I will receive my royalties. And that could be in France, Japan, Colombia, anywhere else in the world to include the UK and the USA. Echo and the work that it does is essential to the livelihood of we songwriters so that we can continue to make the music that we all love and enjoy. As our friends on the motherland say, let the music pay.
Echo, protecting music rights.
Some call it money transfer. We call it helping him hit his first ever six. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
Welcome back. We begin tonight's newscast with an update. A 17-year-old juvenile from Massac is now on remand at the state prison following the stabbing death of 26-year-old Ken Michel of Galio during the Juve morning street jump-up. According to Police Public Relations Officer ASP Claude Wicks, the incident occurred sometime after 9 that morning.
The incident occurred on Hanover Street, where he was allegedly stabbed with scissors, it would appear, on the left side of his chest, the upper chest. He collapsed and was taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where upon arrival he was examined and officially pronounced dead. The incident occurred somewhere about 9:40 a.m. and officially pronounced dead at 9:50 a.m. on Carnival Monday. Of course, a coroner's inquest will be opened shortly, as well as a post-mortem examination will be performed.
He said the juvenile has been assisting the police during the investigation into Michel's death, and the investigation is moving smoothly. The young man, who was formally charged at the magistrate's court on Thursday morning, was not required to plea since the offense is indictable.
Very unfortunate incident to open the Carnival celebrations with, particularly on Monday. In fact, it was during the Juve period. Remember, Juve started at 4 a.m. and was to concluded at 10 a.m. But as I said, the incident occurred somewhere about 9:30, 9:40. And very unfortunate, a young man, 26 years of age, in the Galion Soufrière area. Of course, you'd remember as well that we spoke a lot, we advised, we warned, we exhorted, we begged. We crave the indulgence of the public, particularly the young people, to stay away from the band if they are going to entertain themselves, bringing to bear weapons, scissors, knives, ice pick, and other forms of offense. And I mean, the Carnival Order Act speaks very clearly to it. In fact, it defines weapon of offense, and it would appear that people seem to callously disregard the law.
Dominica Police Force extends condolences to the family of the deceased. The 17-year-old is being represented by attorney Don Yearwood Stewart. The preliminary inquiry is set for July 15th, 2015. In other stories, Dominica's opposition leader, Honorable Lennox Linton, is not in agreement with the exclusion of the opposition's questions from the order paper for the first sitting of Parliament after the last general elections. According to a press release, Linton intends to move a motion for the amendment of the order paper to include questions and motions already submitted by the opposition. Linton said this decision, communicated to the opposition via a letter from the Clerk of the House of Assembly, clearly violates the legitimate right of opposition members to ask questions pertinent to the business of the people they were elected to represent. According to the release, information from the clerk recited that due to established customs and practices, their questions and private member motions shall not be included on the order paper. Linton said the letter written by the clerk explained that under the current convention of the House, items such as the questions the opposition wants to ask under private members' business are not taken at the first meeting of Parliament after elections. He pointed out, however, that the opposition has a duty to do the work of their constituents, which includes asking questions about matters of great concern to them, such as the alleged racketeering of visas and work permits in the Ministry of Immigration and Labor. Other questions the opposition would like to ask, he said, are related to government's role in Bitcoin, Dominica's debt to Petrocaribe, the impact of Black Sikatoka, tourism, and the status of a grant for senior citizens in the 2014-2015 budget. Linton contended that if the government can present bills, papers, and make statements at first meetings for new parliamentary terms, it is only fair that just that, when the opposition has questions and motions, they should be taken in the public interest of proper parliamentary conduct and procedure. However, the order paper for the February 20th meeting of Parliament did not include the opposition's questions and motions submitted on February 4th. Dominica is an island rich with agricultural crops, and one would think that this alone would give it an advantage over several countries across the world. But unless we tap into that resource, we will not realize its maximum potential to help develop the island. It is against this background that the Cocoa International Bean Exchange Organization, Sibexo USA, and Spangvola, a premier chocolate brand from the Dominican Republic, have ventured into building Dominica's cocoa industry and taking it from crop to shop. In 2008, the first Dominican chocolate, Chocolat de la Dominique, was produced with cocoa milled in Dominica as dedication to the island's 30th independence anniversary. That brand of chocolate has since grown to encourage a partnership that would include the Dominican Republic company Spangvola and the newly launched Sibexo Group Dominica. Owner of the Spangvola brand, Eric Reed, said his business strives on a vertically integrated approach.
From the soil to the finished product, right to the consumer's hand. My wife and I own the entire process. We stand here today to tell you that in the United States, we're the only Caribbean, African American from diaspora that represents a vertically integrated from the farm to the chocolate enterprise. Why is it that Belgium and Swiss are known for the best chocolates in the world? That's a problem. They get the beans from Africa and the Caribbean, they take it to Switzerland and Germany, and they make these chocolates, and then Europe thinks they make the best chocolate in the world. No recognition to Nigeria, no recognition to Trinidad, no recognition to the Dominican Republic. Everything's about Swiss and Belgium. So that has to change.
Reed stressed that the quality of any cocoa bean depends on the practice used to grow the crop. He also said that the company and its partners are looking into integrating a chocolate academy at educational institutions across the Caribbean, starting with the University of the West Indies. This, he believes, will encourage innovation among Caribbean people.
Last year, we also signed a historic partnership with the University of West Indies, Cave Hill, Barbados. There's an initiative that's called the Centers for Food Security and Entrepreneurship. It's being led by Director Dr. Ogaro, which is a plant pathologist. The man is a genius. Because what he's doing is, Barbados is going to be the center hub. All the neighboring islands, which is St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Grenada, Trinidad, and Dominica, There's going to be input to start the growing of the agricultural sectors of cocoa. But at UE in Barbados, we're going to set up the first chocolate academy in the Caribbean, where students can go to Barbados and learn to become professional chocolatiers and master chocolatiers.
Gabriel Christian, president of the Caribbean Agricultural Network, CAN, who hosted the meeting on Thursday, agreed that the enterprise must firstly be taken from a national education standpoint. He also pointed out, however, that all this would not be possible without the support of the government, industry experts, or international non-government organizations.
With industry support, then we can get international NGO support. No international NGO is going to support you if you don't have boots on the ground, if you're not linked with your people. And our legacy is one of working closely with our people to achieve real objectives.
The group will continue to meet with Dominican farmers and assess the manufacturing possibilities of a cocoa factory on island. Economist Dr. Thompson Fontaine told 767 News that the possibilities of this initiative are endless.
I know the principals involved. I've been working with them in the Washington, D.C. area. And I'm excited that they've finally come to Dominica because what it offers us is an opportunity for the very first time to actually control the entire process from not only our raw product, the cocoa, but actually processing. And that is something that I've been agitating for all over these years. I believe that for Dominica to really make it in agriculture, we need to add value to whatever products it is that we are selling. So cocoa is a great start. And what excites me as well is the fact that if you're going to revitalize the cocoa industry, it will involve a lot of intercropping because you need the shade of the tangerine trees, the mango, the papaya to kind of shelter the cocoa trees. So I believe that we can also at the same time develop the other agriculture's products in Dominica that we can then dry and then ship out for export.
Following the meeting, the group will formalize the partnership with Cibexo USA, conduct a ground assessment and make recommendations for improvement, meet with DAPEX, Dexia and cabinet officials, and collect beans from Dominica to begin processing of the first phase of the project. It is also expected to launch its premium chocolate bar on the international market by June of 2015. In other stories, a recent increase in the number of certificates issued from the Civil Registry Department on a daily basis amidst fears that the standard $5 fee per certificate may increase may just become a reality. In an interview with 767 News on Wednesday, Registrar Ozzie Walsh said he has recommended that the government increase the fee for the certificates, seeing that the government spent a significant amount of money on the digitizing of the Registry Department.
I'm fully cognizant of the large expenditure that central government has put into that project here at the Civil Registry to upgrade the services here. And I will put it this way, the central government has been good to us, good to the public, in that the cost of the paper alone is worth much more than $5. I'm aware of that. So to be offering a service, right, central government offering a service to the public through the issuing of certificates at a cost of $5, when the paper itself is worth much more than $5, or costs much more than $5, is really it's not sustainable, and it needs and there's more that needs to be recouped from persons out there. Given the fact that government has spent $1.8 million US on the system at the Civil Registry Department.
He said the increase, if implemented, is justified as more upgrades are being considered for the Registry Department, which will further add to the already significant expenditure by the government. Walsh emphasized that the public will understand the need for an increase as the paper the certificates are now being printed on is of very high quality.
So eventually the price should go up, and I've recommended it, I've said. So central government will make the decision with respect to that. The cabinet, of course, through the current Minister of Justice, Mr. Blackmore, and I'll be directed to inform the public as to when the price should be increased. But it is something which the public should expect at some point.
Although Walsh did not disclose the figure he recommended for the increase, which can either be denied or approved by the government, he stated that if the cost of the certificates were increased to an estimated $15 or $20, it would be reasonable.
I am sure
if you were to make a guess or consider a figure, I am sure a figure of $15 upwards would be something which would not be too unreasonable for the public to pay. I'm not saying that's what the figure is going to be. I'm saying the cost of the paper is so much, plus the cost of the service. You're going to pay members of staff there, the equipment's being used to produce the certificates. The ink needs to be replaced after so many hours of use. So we have put so much into it to increase the figure from $5 to a reasonable figure, say $15 or whatever government decides.
Walsh added the full digitalization of the registry department is all in the effort of expediting the process of obtaining certificates by the public. Police investigate the drowning of a 14-year-old boy, and the Kalinago people put Carnival to rest with the traditional Tiwi Vaval. More on these and other stories when 767 News.
Some call it money transfer. We call it helping him hit his first ever six. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
Pay absolutely nothing down and nothing further until Easter this carnival at Courts. Yes, it's time to head down to Courts and get everything for your home today and pay absolutely nothing until Easter. Offer applies to credit purchases 24 months and over. Plus, we'll even give you a chance to trade in your old item for something brand new for a nice discount. Up to $400 off. We'll even haul away the old item when we deliver the new. You've got to rush down to Courts today and enjoy this carnival with nothing down and absolutely nothing to pay until Easter. Plus, trade in for a discount. Courts, bringing value home.
On the night of January the 9th, 1990, the piercing silence of the sleepy town of Sufred would be shattered by the collective screams of resounding terror.
Give me a I tell you not to touch me. I tell you not to touch me. Listen, you're not me. I tell you not to touch me. Don't touch me.
Who did you cut first?
Thanks for staying with us. The police has launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the drowning of a juvenile which occurred in Belfast. According to Police Public Relations Officer ASP Claude Wicks, the incident occurred at about 5 p.m. on Wednesday when the male juvenile was bathing in the Belfast River.
He'd gone to the river with his aunt and others, and apparently got into difficulties, into distress difficulties, in the river while bathing. He submerged, and by that time the call for help realized something wasn't right, and he was taken off from the water, and CPR was administered, and then of course moved or transported to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where upon arrival he was examined, was dealt with by the medical authority, but alas, he succumbed.
ASP Wicks said the 14-year-old is a St. Lucian national with a Dominican mother. The family was vacationing on the island at the time of the incident.
A very unfortunate incident, a young boy, 14 years. So on behalf of the Chief of Police, Mr. Daniel Carbon, the Deputy Chief of Police, the gazetted officers and rank and file, I condole with the families, all families. Extend deepest condolences with the families, relatives, friends in and outer circle.
The family is traumatized by the death of this young boy. And on February 17, 5-year-old Phils Viville of Gullet River in the Kalinago territory underwent his second surgery in France for a brain tumor, which was discovered to be cancerous after a first surgery in Dominica. Sometime in January, the 5-year-old underwent brain surgery, which confirmed an enlarged and growing cancerous brain tumor, and his family and school have been trying tirelessly to raise funds. Viville is a grade K student at the Salibek Government School. Several fundraising activities have been held to pay for his surgeries, including an emergency concert hosted by the school shortly after the family found out that Viville was due for a second encounter under the surgical knife. From our reports, Viville's second surgery was successful, and he is in recovery and improving quite nicely. They began to cheer from Atkinson to Crayfish River and back as they celebrated the last day of Carnival. On Wednesday night, the people of the Kalinago territory gathered in Bataka, where they observed Tiwi Vaval. As part of a long-standing tradition, everyone paraded through the streets in a mock funeral procession with a box containing an image depicting Carnival. They sang, danced, and played Lapu Kap with drums to symbolize the last lap of Carnival. In the evening, the box was burnt to signify the end of Carnival for the year. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports news is coming up next with Larry after this break, so stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we begin with football. Following the carnival break, the primary schools will again be on show in the 2015 National Bank of Dominica Primary Schools Football Competition organized by the Sports Division. On Friday, February 20th, there will be matches at two venues. The Collio, Savanpai, St. John's, Kulibistri, Dubla, and the Roosevelt Douglas Primary Schools will meet at the Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth for day one of the North Zone competition from 1 p.m. Meanwhile, the schools of the Southwest will also converge to participate in this exciting football championship. They will engage in their second day of competition, which is scheduled for the Lindo Park in Goodwill. On Tuesday, February 24th, we'll see the completion of the West Zone competition at the Mao playing field. The top 3 teams of each district will qualify for the next round. In cricket, West Indies 2020 captain Darren Sammy was the only Caribbean player sold in the 2015 Indian Premier League IPL auction on Monday. A powerful low-order batsman and steady medium pacer, Sammy was snapped up by Royal Challengers Bangalore, RCB, for US $466,000. The 31-year-old was released by Sunriders Hyderabad following the 2014 campaign. Several West Indies players went unsold, including West Indies Test captain Dinesh Ramdin, Marlon Samuels, Sheldon Cottrell, Ravi Rampal, Jonathan Carter, Darren Bravo, Krishma Santuki, Carlos Brathwaite, Chris Banwell, and Kevin Cooper. Seamers Rampal, Krishma Santuki, and Cooper were also released from their respective franchises following the 2014 season. Sammy, however, has seen his T20 stock continue to rise since his sudden retirement from Test cricket last year. Over the last year, he has turned out for English County Glamorgan, Titans in the South Africa Ramslam, and Hobart Hurricanes in the Australia Big Bash. In more sports, we go to Public Relations Office of the Dominica Football Association, DFA, Gerald George.
12 matches are scheduled this week as action resumes in the National Leagues of the Dominica Football Association after a short break for the Carnival celebrations. We begin the Division 1 League on Thursday, where Petro Caribe Point Michelle takes on Wayne George Academy at the Puri playing field at 6 p.m., while in a doubleheader at the Baffin State playing field, Fokole United comes up against Daspa Porters at 5 p.m., to be followed by Signman All-Stars versus Collio at 7 p.m. On Friday, Police Sports Club will battle RIC Kelsborough at 5 p.m. in the first match of a doubleheader at the Baffin State playing field, while at 7 p.m., MV Maxalo Bombers will take on East Central. On Saturday, All Saints will take on Cubchis Barbershop Baffin State at 7 p.m. at the Baffin State playing field, while at the Jubla playing field, RC Doctors will battle Starryland from St. Joseph at 5 p.m.
Meanwhile, in the Domlec Women's League on Saturday, West Coast Jaguars come up against defending champions New India Goodwill Runners at 5 p.m. at the Baffin State playing field. In a doubleheader on Sunday, Dive Dominica Harlem United will take on Mao Soka Strikettes at 4 p.m., which will be followed by New Generation Sports Club versus Wood City Strikers at 6 p.m.
And in the Lime Premier League on Sunday, Dubla Football Club will take on Scotiabank Bath Estate at the Dubla playing field, while at the Pori playing field, Harlem United will come up against Sagicor Southeast. Both matches begin at 3 p.m.
And in cricket, incumbent West Indies Cricket Board WICB President Dave Cameron had his re-election chances significantly boosted when his home territory, the Jamaica Cricket Association, JCA, made a turnaround and decided to throw their support behind him in next month's president elections. JCA directors had earlier this month voted 10-6 to support Cameron's challenger, Barbados Cricket Association President Joel Garner. The move sparked dissent among the wider membership, who on Wednesday voted unanimously at the annual general meeting to strike down the original decision and have the JCA support Cameron. The development is a huge blow to Ghana's chances of toppling Cameron at the March 7th annual general meeting of the WICB in Jamaica. And that's it for tonight's sportscast. Tune in again tomorrow for more sports news.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. Now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Police charged juvenile with Juve morning murder. Leader of opposition disputes the exclusion of pertinent questions on the first Parliament's order paper, and Dominica to implement major cocoa industry with assistance from Caribbean and international partners. In sports, DFA organizes numerous matches following Carnival break. And that's all the time we have for now. Join us tomorrow for another newscast. Till then, drop us an email at media@767news.dm, friend us on Facebook, and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm Alicia George, wishing you a wonderful evening, and thanks for watching.